This content is for informational and educational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever by Draper Goren Blockchain, aka DGB, the presenter, or other associated parties for the content being provided. Please do your own due diligence and seek proper counsel.
Boom.
Boom.
What's up, dudes?
There we go.
What is up, everybody? It is December 16th. I was on a call with Rankin about an hour ago, and he was wearing his Christmas sweater, so I decided to join him since I'm not sure if we'll go live next week, just because it's like Christmas Eve.
Christmas Adam. That's what I call it.
Christmas Adam?
Yes, that's what I call it.
You made the mistake thinking I was wearing a Christmas sweater.
It's Christmas sweater.
It's Christmas.
We have to throw a party in the crypt about crypto. We really do.
In the meantime, can it be a metaverse crypt?
I mean, I know a good one.
Original, Nate.
We can go to my pop-up gallery.
I know a good metaverse crypt by Vesa.
Okay.
They have one on David's favorite dead website, Crypto Voxels, and another on your property that you guys invested in, Superworld.
Cool.
Oh.
All right.
I used to work there.
Yeah, Nathan was a super worlder.
I was the most famous artist in the world for a little bit.
I applied to work there. I did not get hired.
I got hired on accident. I had like a really good meeting with Harish, and he was asking me about all these things I wanted to do, and I started talking about my artwork, and next thing you know, he was like, "How can I get you on my side over here?" And I started like going, and I spoke in Miami. I spoke in Austin. I did all this stuff. It was going really well, but I'll just be honest. I had like some things to deal with in my personal life, so it didn't work out. But that's how life works, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to come across combative, but when someone's saying we have this, I just come on across very blunt and like, this doesn't work and this is why. And so I think that makes some companies uncomfortable.
That's how it was with me. I was dealing with depression. And, you know, I mean, that's just how that kind of works. I mean, it's not the kind of thing that, it's not like they had any issue with me. It's that I had an issue with the pace of the tech world, and like the fintech world, and the space is like just very like unrelenting. It doesn't stop for anybody. So you have to be prepared and ready to go, or else you will get left in the dust. And I decided to kind of take myself out of the path for everybody's benefit, because I was definitely becoming like not as effective. And so in a way, I was being a team player by stepping back. I was trying to do the right thing. It's very interesting, I guess.
Alon, you want to talk about the thing last week with that Ami had posted and that you had posted about the tokenization?
Yeah, you know what we'll start with, we'll jump into some crypto stuff, but there's a couple things we discovered beforehand. Zuda was talking about robots, and then we started talking about some sci-fi, and we have the holiday stuff. Oh, wait. Before we get serious, this is funny.
Serious Black.
I got a thingy that I didn't notice on StreamYard saying like holiday pack stuff.
Oh, we have ornaments.
Hold on, let's see the different one. Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
Beach Snowman. That's
kind of like the Beach Snowman. Gingerbread.
Happy holidays.
Hanukkah. Was that Happy Holidays like a Hanukkah one? Oh no.
StreamYard is messed up because
is there like Christmas music?
There's only Christmas, Boxing Day.
Boxing Day makes me think Floyd Mayweather is going to show up on this.
Boxing Day isn't it Canada? I thought Boxing Day was like
those crazy Canadians.
Canadian.
I have no idea what Boxing Day is. Do you guys know?
Basically, they get everything way cheaper. And it's the day after Christmas.
It is the day after Christmas. Yeah. You're right.
But is it actually like a shopping holiday, or are you just making that up because it's box?
I don't know. I've heard different things for different Canadians. I don't actually know.
There's probably a real thing. I bet Kevin knows what Boxing Day is.
Marabi!
Tezos in the house. He's the entire blockchain.
That's it.
Yeah.
No shade.
Yeah. Just kidding. I had to close the other window. I was hearing you people twice and once in delay. I've been told what Boxing Day is before, but I forget every time.
That's when everybody punches each other.
That's what everyone thinks. That's what Americans think.
Not one of us has Googled it yet. So Nate was thinking boxing. Then
it says
said it was something to do with shopping because of the boxes.
It says Boxing Day was once a day to donate gifts to those in need, but it has evolved to become a part of Christmas festivities. It originated in the UK, and the attached bank holiday or public holiday may take place on the 27th or 28th.
Okay,
So
you know what? We should
became more selfish.
That's
Sounds
nice.
like it.
We
None
should
of us had even close to the correct answer, and it's a nice thing.
We should reintroduce the King of Fools, which was a Christmas holiday tradition.
King of Fools?
Yes. So
like electricity volts?
No. So a mob would get together and they would have a leader of the mob, and they would go to a rich person's house and they would have to make a feast and everything, and there would be a King of Fools for the day.
King of Fools?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That was...
I don't think that...
I mean, it seems pretty cool.
It's called Election Day. Oh, political.
All right, so this week, crypto stuff, the biggest probably news, or one of the biggest news things, was that DTCC, which they've already talked about this stuff before, did a more definitive thing. Their CEO did a whole message and public statement and stuff saying that all of their clients are going to be able to tokenize their shares of stock that DTCC holds in clearing. So DTCC is like one of the biggest kind of clearing houses, groups that holds equities on behalf of all of their clients and institutions and stuff like that. They're allowing all of their institutions and individuals to tokenize those shares, which is a really, really huge deal. I know that other groups like Euroclear also have said they're looking into things like this, but DTCC is the big one. And it's pretty rad. I think that's a cool thing. So another step in the direction of everything being more digital, being more easy to transact, and of course on chain, which is cool. You guys see any of that stuff?
I saw it, but I didn't dig into it. So I didn't want to comment and say something like silly, and people realize that I'm kind of like maybe a little bit stupider than I let on. So I was afraid to say something at first.
What are you?
Mostly... Okay, go Zuda.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on companies trying to hire "quote unquote" storytellers to tell what their company does in a more coherent messaging?
Well, I think that everyone should, as a part of marketing, right, is being able to market your stuff right and all that. So people hire marketing people, storytellers all the time. I think when it's at the early stages of a company, the best storytellers need to be the founders of the company, right? Like they need to know how to tell the story. They need to be the best salespeople there is, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So hold on, let's stick to the tokenization stuff for just 1 minute, because I'm only going down this path because Nate is keeping us professional. I want to comment on Kevin's lederhosen, but I'm holding my tongue for a moment.
Yeah, you do. I know you do. You're obsessed with
I
me.
think it's awesome.
I am obsessed with you, Kevin. And so the
That was sultry.
well,
By the
Kevin,
way,
Kevin, the way he said that, he's like, "You're just obsessed with me." Like his voice, he made it sexy.
You
It
want
felt like we had to
this?
call HR for a second.
There's a proposal for NASDAQ to now start 24/7 trading, which would be interesting for in tokenization, because that's one of the biggest trade-offs. The idea that like you lose the forever live market. So now they would become more compatible. And of course, the fact that crypto is what it is an influential factor in that. Otherwise, why would anybody want to be up all?
It gives like the people in finance a disadvantage because they don't want to work 24/7, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's a lot of degens who are trading.
They
in the
also
middle
have
of the night.
advantages
I've
of
been
the
there.
markets. They have advantages of the markets closing and stuff like that because they do behind the scenes things and they manipulate it that way too. There's trade-offs, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's great. I mean, the thing is if everything's in like liquidity pools and like things, like it should be just fine.
You couldn't help yourself. I'm sorry, you couldn't help yourself. You tried so hard, right? And then he just went for it.
You know what's funny is I looked.
I was trying not to go there. But I mean, this is why we're going to talk about everything.
So
took 12 minutes.
I know Coop has his own token. Should we all tokenize ourselves?
No,
maybe.
I don't think the tokenizing ourselves matters unless someone actually is going to have some sort of relevance about their name, right?
I was going to say that.
Like if someone's in entertainment, right, and they want to leverage their name outside of a project that they're doing, right? So I don't know. I think Avatar is coming out. I've seen like a gazillion commercials for Avatar, the new movie. So let's say that one of the main actors wants to go ahead and leverage their name outside of that. I could see it that way if there's some sort of benefit, but also then too, as a user that's putting up money, right? Like, why then am I investing and putting up that money in this individual, right? Do they have another project coming that's going to go, oh, I can see an uptake, so then my money's going to grow, right? Or I can leverage it in a different way.
So I always thought of as an artist, it would be good to have my art to where, like, if you hold my art in your wallet, you receive tokens, like, at a higher rate the more art you collect. Like, say you get like 1% for holding one piece, and 2, you're getting like 1.2, and like eventually if you hold like 100 pieces, you're earning like 5% or something. Same way, like holding like USDC in certain wallets, you're getting like, you know, certain yield from like Morpho or something like that. But for that, you'd have to be like a famous artist first, or have. But
also,
like,
then what would the tokens be? Are they just bragging rights that I'm a big supporter, or are they? Can you trade them off for physical art with or time with Nathan?
Right.
Like I could burn these for
I did that
1 hour of Nathan's time in my office.
Well, I'd want to create staking pools, so like the revenue from the art goes into the pool, and then holding it distributes like you use one token to buy the art, and then holding the art gets you a different token, and you can trade that token in to get the original token to buy more art. So it's like a circular economy, and it kind of has to keep persisting, or you know, you could cash out but you're out, and it would cost more to get back in than originally it did.
It has to be independent of you, like an outlive you. Like your art will, of course, outlive you. It might go up. The value will go up if you die, you know. But if your token, you know, like even if it's like that was always the issue that I had with things was like VFriends or whatever. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk, great, you know, businessman, obviously, and VFriends is insanely successful. I mean, not many people are able to make their own festival based off of their own crypto conference based off person, but the risk of a person is there. You have to make it independent of yourself. That's why people like make companies and make decentralized.
Well, that's what
and
I
all
was
that.
thinking. So. Like if an artist were to end up like a Basquiat type figure, where like their stuff is all of a sudden reselling at auctions for hundreds of millions of dollars,
Could their coin?
Yeah, and then all that money was going into the coin. When originally you bought this piece for like 1 or 2 ETH, and next thing you know, like the pieces are selling for like hundreds of millions, and then a percentage of that goes back into the pool and helps people get their staking rewards.
Are you saying that not just like a Nathan token would come to me when art was made or when I collected it, but actual dividends of your future sales?
Yeah, like every 30 days you receive like.
Now I'm an investor in this person.
Exactly.
Because I hold their art, I actually earn a piece of their future revenue.
Yeah, the same way as
it's
like
their legacy.
Or Solana,
And that gets back to where we talked about owning people. You said was not a good thing.
No, you're not owning people. You're owning. It's a business, right? Look, if Nathan decides to go get a job tomorrow because art is a struggle and it's really hard, and that's what he has to do, he won't make any more art, and we all lost. It's similar to like a business going out of business, right? But we're not going for the rest of Nathan's life. If he gets a job, we get a portion of his paycheck, because that is where it gets really problematic. There has to be set parameters and stuff.
You're betting effectively on legacy. That like that person would have it, like baseball cards that outlive a person. It's based on the individual, but it's because we all have this agreed standard on which all players, are like, okay, they all have cards, but this one, because this is Babe Ruth, know. It
would rely upon getting art exhibitions, getting into certain shows, getting into certain galleries, and connecting with people that would buy stuff. So if you're getting business and you're taking a percentage of that business and funneling it into the token or the pool, that would all of a sudden make it work. So it would be like, it would rely upon the community too. Like they would have an incentive to promote stuff, to reach out to their contacts, and like my success would become their success. So that was always my thinking about it.
But but I think there's like the payoff now while you're still producing stuff and alive. But then after you die, it's more like, did this, like the stuff that they did, the galleries they were in, the stuff where it was like featured and exhibited and all that kind of stuff, like, is their legacy enshrined, like Da Vinci, like Basquiat, and then we can have confidence, speculative future that they will continue to have that and that will only grow. So I think that's a lot. That's a harder chasm to cross,
It is, but it would rely upon the art world itself giving sort of like a thumbs up or a cosign to that artist, because once you break through that, it's like you're enshrined in that world, and all of a sudden the people that are outside of the world could speculate on your success because people within it are saying like, hey, you're good. This person is going to be a legacy artist because we approve, and we're going to make them a legacy artist. Because that's how the art world works. Same with like fashion and any of that stuff. It's like all this like
I want to bring it back to
gatekeeping stuff. And once you're through,
does fashion? Because I don't know. I'm not really big. I don't really know much about fashion, but
like Gucci, for instance, right? Like you could go buy like a Gucci handbag from like years ago, and as long as it's in decent condition, it probably appreciated.
I want to see if your theory actually holds up. If someone wants to pull up Frank Kozik's stuff, he died and he was famous. He did Labbits as NFTs and other things. Have the prices gone up and are still up because he died like a year ago? So
it's interesting that you say that.
I was thinking about real art world too, like physical art world.
Judah, send me that.
But the Frank Kozik example, because I remember I talked a lot with Frank while he was with us. Unfortunately, passed away last year.
I did too.
And he did have some early collection on Ekitnug. And I was like, oh, wow, that, like after a while, not like, wait for some time to pass. But I was thinking like, this could be a thing. And then I looked up, I couldn't find his profile or whatever. And it was Mitch Putnam. Shout out to Mitch Putnam. He did all of the minting for him. And it's under his account. And it's like, that kind of,
a little bit.
It does. It's still his art. And it's I know that we authorized it. Yeah, but it's like, it's not, there's nothing in the decentralized zone that says this was authorized by him to do.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that for this to work, the artist always needs to use the same wallet so that they always have that same digital signature. Like how I would sign a piece a certain way, and then like 100 years, or like say like Leonardo da Vinci, like you can verify his work, by his signature, right? So it's like, or his whatever. So I think digitally it has to be the same.
Yeah.
Same wallet.
Way to,
You know, the other thing too, kind of circling back to the original question, because I love how we took one question, then ranking comes in, and then we talk about liquidity pools, then we go all the way to art.
Oh, no.
I'm loving it. I mean, we start over here on the left, you know, and then we go all the way over here on the right. You know, it's great.
Good artists always make it about themselves. Sorry, go ahead.
Well,
No, it's good. It's good. The other thing I was going to say is, so last week, JP Morgan Chase, their CEO, Jamie Dimon, was talking about tokenization, right? And so, Alon, one of the things I was thinking is, like, what is the tokenization and, like, banks have to do with, you know, some of the stuff that we're hearing right now? Is this going to really, are we going to see other banks get involved in this stuff, or is this all back end, you know? Go ahead.
They're definitely all going to get involved. They've all been involved, but they haven't been involved really deep on the front end, because they or on the back end, really, like they've been talking about it, showing up to things, all that. The issue is that they don't benefit until there's a critical mass. And if you work in legacy institutions, there isn't as much as of an incentive if you're somebody at a big bank to stick your neck out, right? Because there's more chance you're going to hurt your career than help your career, right? Taking risks and doing things like that when you're the legacy. But they have they hold the keys, right, in terms of the amount of capital, the amount of influence, and all that stuff. And so when the timing is right, they're all going to do it. Rankin believes in a future stablecoin economy, right? There's a utopian version of that, and there's the realistic version of that. The realistic version is that those stablecoins are going to be held by and controlled and manipulated by the banks and institutions that have been holding and manipulating and controlling money forever. And so, you know, will JP Morgan be a part of that? Of course, they'll probably be the leaders of stable coins, or whatever coin is the main one, or at least they'll have their own for their own ecosystem, and their own ecosystem is the whole financial market, right? Like, so,
right.
I know I'm exaggerating a little when I say the whole financial market, but kind of, right?
It's a big chunk. Yeah.
And I think it depends on the future, right? Like, what's the point of the DTCC announcement the other day? Will tokenizing the shares make them more digital than they are today? Yes. Will that change much for the individual user in terms of what they can do today and what they can do tomorrow? Not much on the front end, but where it'll change significantly. Rankin has a utopian idea where I'll be able to tokenize my shares and I'll just throw them into a liquidity pool. Not quite, because all those things will have to be KYC'd and all these things. There'll be roadblocks along the way. But here's the beauty. Remember, I said
that's what AI's for, bro.
What was that?
That's what AI is for. AI is going to know everything you do on the blockchain.
100%. So from your mouth to God's ears, we'll be dropping our tokenized shares of every company into liquidity pools, and we'll get to be the exchanges, you know, and we'll get to collect the fees at NASDAQ.
We'll just let you know when you're on the
So,
but
PayPal.
the one thing, the big phrase is collateral mobility.
Yeah.
What that means is you have your own collateral. All of the things you own are your collateral. Now, right now, if you want to borrow against them or utilize them to throw in a liquidity pool and earn interest on them, or to borrow against them because you go, okay, I've got this NFT worth $1,000. I've got this stock worth $1,000. I've got these digital shares worth this much. All these things that are digital have a value that can be verified in some way. And we use products all the time to borrow against our ETH or borrow against our Bitcoin with one click, faster than even we could borrow against our house. And really, if you have a house, that's pretty much the only thing you could easily borrow against as an average person. And even that's not easy, right? It's not like easy. And so the future is that when these things are digital, all of the products that are only available to either ultra wealthy people who can call up their broker or person and be like, hey, Nate, can I borrow $1 million to go do this transaction? And Nate goes, well, you got this thing and this thing, send me the deed of the house just so I can verify, and I'll send you a doc, no problem, 8%, whatever. You go, okay, sounds good. And you do that, right? But we can't do that. We're not wealthy people that have all these assets. The second our assets, even if they're small, are all verifiable and digital, you're going to open yourself up to being able to borrow against them, be able to do all these things. And that's a market for those banks and institutions. They get to go, oh, those products that aren't efficient enough to sell to the bottom 99% of our clients, we can now sell to them. We can now give them more debt. We can now allow them to participate here or there or whatever. And that is the reason why they're going to do it. It's going to be
going to open up marketplaces and trade.
So,
okay, go ahead.
PayPal applied to be a bank.
Yeah.
Word up.
How is that going to change things?
I'm surprised they weren't one already.
That's what I'm saying.
How is that going to change things?
I don't know. I
have
think
more bank.
It's PayPal is an existing big legacy business at this point. It's not like an innovative tech company, So I'm assuming they just realize they need certain licenses to provide certain services. They'll be able to lock in their clients better or do something. It's just a profit analysis.
Now they've partnered with banks that have done stuff for them. And so, of course, they have to split fees and revenues and all that stuff with them. When you become your own bank, it's a burden in some ways because you have to, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of upkeep to that. It's not their core competency. They're a tech company, not a bank. But it's like once you get large enough, you're like, well, that's it. I'm actually surprised, that they didn't already do this.
But doesn't it open you up to that?
They did a number of
system, so like they can borrow money at a higher rate based on their holdings at that point, right? So like they can do like the fractional reserve banking at that point. Doesn't that allow them to get like higher loans, higher valuations? Like I might sound
directly here. Yeah, saying, like they were doing it before, but now they can.
Now they can leverage the user's assets as their cash flow, right? And they can say like, hey, we're holding this much in assets, and that would allow them to take higher amounts for themselves, which would allow them to expand faster, which would take in more customers, more assets, more loans, expansion. Isn't that kind of
fractional reserve banking? So because they only need to have like 10% like legally actually in the reserves, so which is messed up. But it's
so instead of just like allowing transfers, then they become like more powerful by doing that, right? Because they're able to get more money for themselves to grow, which allows for more customers, which allows for more money, which allows for more money, which allows for more money.
Yeah, and they've been doing this. It's
exactly
just through bank partners, Yeah,
they did something really smart though.
For a lot of people.
What was that, Nathan?
That's the benefit of the traditional system for a lot of people, like a lot of institutions and even individuals, is like, since fiat is kind of less valuable to the system itself because they can just print it, they're willing to give you more, and it's devalued at like a slower rate than we see with our eyes and feel in our pocket. So like they're like, here, take it. Like we don't care.
Well, I think you also have to be able
this game.
Well, I think you also have to be able to adapt, right? Especially some of these legacy companies like this, right? Like you think about what Starbucks did with their online mobile app. Starbucks is kind of almost like a bank, right? You can just upload your money onto their cards, or you can use.
They created a user experience that was better than before somehow by enabling this idea of just reloadable cards, which is no different than just paying with your credit card each time. You get extra points. You get extra points, right? So we all do it because it's just a part of the app. And now in that thing, if they were a bank, they'd be like, what is it, the third or fourth largest bank in the United States? Some crazy number, like in the top 10, if not higher.
Yeah. But it's brilliant because drinks are like very cheap. To like, if you go get like a soft drink from the fountain at a gas station, it costs them like between 2 and 10 cents probably for that big cup, but you're paying like $2 or $3, right? So at a place like Starbucks, they can offer you like extra points without actually losing any money. They're still making such a high profit margin because their drinks aren't actually as valuable as what they're selling them for.
Correct.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's like buying diamonds wholesale and then reselling diamonds like for thousands of dollars. Like you can get a good diamond for a few $100 if you're buying wholesale, and you can sell it for like several $1,000s in a piece of jewelry.
Well, that's why I think it's smart what PayPal did, because PayPal kind of was probably looking at things going, we need to adapt, right? And so I don't know if you guys saw it, but this summer they partnered with the NCAA for all of the payments for the football programs of Big 10 and Big 12, right? So you think of all these universities, Big 10, Big 12, big football, right? So much revenue now coming through. Smart by them to partner with them, because then as a student athlete, right, as you're getting paid, you are on PayPal system now all 4 years, or if you're in college for 5 years, or if you're in college for 3 years. So then you get used to being on their system already, you know, early on, which was smart by
instead
them.
of just using PayPal and sending it to your bank, there'll be a bank, and now you'll just get a debit card, and then boom.
Yeah.
You never leave.
Guys,
I have a quick.
How many of you guys have changed banks?
hold on.
Like your personal accounts? Like, do you just have them at the same bank you've had them pretty much forever?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't want
have
to divulge
added
that
banks,
information.
but like for business and things like that. But yeah, but what's interesting is how PayPal.
The only part of our financial holdings that we all have that's actually insured. So only
I know. That's the
limit
part.
For $100,000.
So
$250,000.
Oh, they raised it.
there's a game
they raised
called
it.
Wait, Rankin,
There's a
what
game
were you
called-
saying? There's a game what?
There's a game called Roblox.
Okay.
Some people know this.
Tell me about
There
this
is a thing
Roblox.
called Brain
Uh-oh.
Rot. No. So there's this concept and this idea of streaming revenue. My son is actually playing with this and playing with different money mechanics, right? Which is fascinating. And we talk about the concept of a Ubi coin. And he wants diamonds. I'm suggesting Ubi coin. But the idea is games right now are like streaming coins to kids, getting them used to this infinite money supply is constantly printing. And then they have to go and like spend it, right? They're constantly spending it. And I'm like, there may be a system that we just give out money for free. You have so much money that you have to spend in a week, and then you know what you don't use, you lose.
That's
Maybe it's like a future society that we're training kids to get used to.
But if you train them that if you don't use it, you lose it. You're training them in a good way on one sense, but now you're training them to be short term on the other sense, right?
That's what inflation is. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
But you have to be able to use it.
Is.
Like there has to be many use cases that include like savings or like deferred usage, right?
No, they don't want savings. No. That doesn't work.
We need to teach our kids delayed gratification because every game, everything is like instant.
But that's not in the
ADD
game.
is like off the charts now.
But that's not built into any of these games. It's built in the game that you get the currency, you spend it, and you consume.
Yeah.
We've been taught that, and I think this is like the hyper accelerated version of it that kids are being taught today. You get this currency, you go spend it as fast as possible, and these games are like driving this pattern.
But is that a good pattern?
That is the pattern that keeps the consumption going. That we're going to hyperinflate everything. So you got to spend whatever you have, and whatever you don't spend. I'm suggesting what we do is we do a tax. So if they don't spend it, you tax them. And I think like maybe this is like the introduction to universal basic credit for future generations.
I was just going to say that.
You have an infinite amount of money, but you have to spend it on consumption matter. Now, you're going to limit it. Okay, you can't go buy a car with what you're earning. But the thing is, if you have to spend it every week, you'll never accumulate enough to go buy that car. Because if I give you $2,000 every week to buy or whatever, you're going to go consume. But the thing
you're incorrect.
have enough money
You're incorrect,
to buy
Lincoln.
What?
You're 100% incorrect.
No, if I give you $2,000, but I take it all away from you, if you
Not if we're still talking about Roblox, you're incorrect.
Well, I'm just saying
It's not about fantasy football.
The model is good though because it follows like if we were trading food for food, the food is perishable. So it's like it kind of takes us back to like this old environment, like thousands of years ago, where you had to trade like animals for animals and food for food and stuff. And if there wasn't currency, you'd have to actually have a trade system.
He's going to criticize me on Roblox and how I'm incorrect on like.
No, even in what Nathan said, you're incorrect, because you take that $2,000, you spend it to get an ox, you sell that ox for $4,000, you make money.
Okay.
But I'm saying if currency didn't exist, if you had to go one for one with everything.
And you have to, what if you have to sell that ox for a good and not something else?
Magic.
Or exactly.
Beans.
Or that's what I'm saying. There needs to be something you can purchase that delays gratification, that hopefully beats inflation or does something, right? Like Bitcoin or a digital gold thing, because we have to teach the kids how to go from this instant world into something else. If your shit expires, then they have to actually think about what they spend it on. That's a good thing, right? That's what you're getting at. But if they can't buy that car ever because they spend every dime they have, then you have to create a way for them to delay the gratification without taxes, or in a way that makes the taxes null and void, like takes, you know what I mean? So we have to find a way to teach them that, because that's the lesson. That's
what they'll tax. Yeah. They'll tax savings. They'll tax savings and allow for consumption.
But the reason it's sinister is it conditions the mind to never learn
to save
about saving or see a purpose in saving, because
that's like exact opposite of what Rankin's whole philosophy is, right?
Exactly. Like you don't want to condition the mind to go on this like scarcity, like you want to have like a wealth mindset, like where you're building wealth and that leads to future abundance, instead of just everybody saying the same thing all the time. Like
these are the conversations I have with my kids about currency stuff.
No, it's a good conversation to have, because it's realistic. It involves the human brain and our psychology and the real world. We have to reconcile all these things. It's not just concepts. We have to live it.
I'm watching how the kids are being programmed by my son. Doesn't think $1 billion is anything. He's all, $1 billion is nothing. I got quadrillions in my game. And they just continue to pour it out. And you're just like,
that's a problem. That's a huge problem. My God. I see that.
Yeah. It's a problem in games. Like
the universal basic income.
You think completely different. And I don't think people realize the conditioning that kids are through. Roblox being the most popular game right now, and the conditioning that's being done on how these kids are going to think about money.
So you're implying that this is by design from the system to force people into
I think it's just the popular game mechanics that are just perpetuating, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not Roblox enables basically.
But your influence at a young age drives how you see everything. And so is this the future mindset that we're going to see coming in? You know, like
but do they not also see great loss, like in the same microcosm, that they're like?
No, there's no real loss.
The trauma.
They're not.
Yeah, but like it's no real gain either. But it's like, you know, it is what it is. But like you're more willing to wheel and deal and take risks, and so you are feeling that trauma and that sting at an early age. Whereas,
my son's learned some good negotiation skills when he's worked so hard to get certain things and then trades them with someone and instantly regrets it or realize he sold it for not enough diamonds or whatever the coin is of that game.
And we didn't have that experience.
He learned the lesson, and he goes, "Oh my God, this person scammed me." I said, "No, they didn't. You went into that. You felt really good about it for a minute, and then you realized you sold it for the price, whatever." That's a lesson, right?
But Kevin,
our generation was getting. Like we were getting allowance, or I wasn't getting allowance, but people were, but regardless, like if you needed something, it's like, oh, let me get the, just some money. And then you, for the most part, you had it. Your demands weren't as high but you were okay. You weren't like feeling this sort of tycoon gain and loss the way kids are now. So they are being instilled with a sense of trauma, good kind of trauma that can like build up what they want to be, what they would need to learn for the future. So it does go both ways.
Zuda's gonna pop.
Yeah, he's going to explode.
Kevin, I have 3 questions for you, and one is the one that you'll always roll your eyes at me about.
You may ask one. I will consider the other 2 later, but you get one.
You got 3 questions, Zuda. What are you doing?
Were you on Neopets? And if you weren't, And if you weren't the Neopets, is storing money under your bed SEC regulated? And if that's not SEC regulated, do you LARP? That's one question.
Read these together as one question. I knew what you were doing.
Neopets, he said no.
So I didn't play it, but I did study it in college in a case study in business school. So I know what it is.
So check this out. My son and I
ever had a Neopet?
The other questions were crazy to me.
We got to reset. This show's getting crazy. Everybody's talking at once.
My sister said Neopet. So check this out.
Welcome.
My son and I are going to try to flip the script, right? I thought of what's the perfect game for Roblox? What does every kid want to do? Every kid wants to sit there and watch Roblox. So we thought, what about making a game where you sit and watch Roblox in the Roblox game, but instead of the YouTuber getting paid, you get paid for watching the TV in game.
Pump.fun.
This proves why we are a simulation, not just created by base reality, but by another simulation.
My son looked at that way. That's actually a cool idea.
What's wrong with the brain of the person controlling my simulation that's decided this is going to be their entertainment every Tuesday morning?
It's a good thing that nobody gets paid from this podcast.
This is actually a good show. We're having a lively debate here, so I don't want to take away from that. But it is.
Imagine if people got paid for watching TV, though. Like, there's all these ads we get watched. Why don't we get paid for literally watching ads and watching streams and and all this stuff?
Yeah,
I mean, we're wasting all the time watching.
The logic that we are.
It's an incentive mechanism. The incentive for us is
learn something.
We're being entertained. We are being entertained. We're being given something. If we didn't enjoy or like the thing we're being given, we wouldn't be watching.
Yeah, it's a drug because boredom is a form of pain.
We in the crypto space are going, we're seeing an ad. We should be getting paid for this. But we came here to see the ad. So, we could just turn it off. And then they'll have to get better and better at incentivizing us to show up, right?
I notice younger people, like the younger you go, they have that attitude more and more. Like they think they should be compensated for everything they do. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Right now, because as I'm saying it, I'm like, yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin,
are we talking about
Kevin?
Or are we talking about something else?
Well, Kevin, you bring up a good point, right? About people wanting to always get paid for something, right? But the bigger point, I think, is sometimes they don't even have the experience, right, for what they want to get paid for, right? They think they have the experience, but they don't want to go ahead and actually put in the time to get the experience, which then can give them the funds that they're requesting, right?
Right.
Right, but this is the whole thing. Sometimes I think about the difference between like micro ecosystem cities and larger cities like in LA or Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, right? When you're from a micro ecosystem city, right, everything is in your proximity, okay? But your opportunity gap, right, to jump in and learn and gain experience that could go ahead and propel you times 2x, times 3x in terms of time and in terms of revenue is much shorter because of your proximity. Versus in a larger ecosystem, a bigger city, right? Sometimes people don't think this way, but sometimes learning the skill, right? So you're going to do something for free, or you're going to help someone because it's the right thing to do because you need to gain the experience, right? You're going to help them with an event. You're going to help them with marketing. You're going to help them with producing something. Now, because you're in that room at a bigger ecosystem, you gain one, the experience in a bigger pool. Two, you've gotten access to a bigger pool of people in a bigger ecosystem that can propel you times 2x, times 3x. And I think, like what you were saying, Kevin, sometimes when they think about the short term of, well, I want to get compensated for this, actually the compensation of $500 might be nothing compared to the experience or the skill or the access you're going to get that's going to give you $10,000, right?
Yeah.
So that's what
they're thinking like I was in a Twitter space, and then I remember a host who was saying it wasn't too big. It was like a few hundred people in there, and he's just like, yeah, when are we going to start getting like people getting paid to come to Twitter Spaces. I'm like, oh, you mean as host? It's like, no, the audience. The audience.
To attend, and you're not the host.
But the way he was thinking, like, and I'm trying to think, like, all right, let me try to empathize. And it's like, okay, I guess people being there does add something, like they can engage and they can spread it, and then maybe that helps the growth of the space and therefore the platform, and that helps Twitter X. But
it depends on how many followers you have.
Like, you have to be able to prove, for one thing, that it was legitimate interest, like helping, and it like really organic. Because otherwise, the number one problem, people are going to game the system so they can get paid. So for one thing, it has to be like a really passive. Like, you wouldn't do this if you didn't want to do it. Like, that's the level of money we're talking about. And
they are getting paid though.
Because
they are getting paid though. Because if they get to speak, they get followers, and followers are a form of currency in our culture.
If they get to speak, and then
so they have to like raise their hand and try to like connect with people like in the chat or something. Maybe like DM the host. There's a way of like trying to get paid through.
But that's
because the
exposure is not payment.
Then that's not considered capital. When they introduced the ad sharing program, if you get like over, I think, 500,000 impressions a month, and you have
5 million in 3 months.
But it becomes capital because the more followers you have, the more you can, even if you're not getting the ad sharing, you can create your own products and sell your own products potentially.
Yeah, but that puts the burden on you to do it, and they don't want that. They're like, well, I'm existing, pay me. I'm doing the thing I'm doing. Find a way that I'm adding value to someone and they're not paying for it. I need to get paid for that.
They're being unrealistic.
May I go on a tangent, or should I shut up?
This is a really serious conversation, and we
need
need to stay in our lane, and we're not supposed to be going on tangents.
Focus.
Okay.
No on a tangent. I'm joking.
Right now.
It's a tangent on topic.
This is why we love you, by the way.
Okay.
This is a tangent itself.
Other than the fact you're creative.
It's an on-topic tangent, if you want.
Let's go.
Okay. So
be ready to cut him off.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Feel free to. So
you got 90 seconds.
Followers, depending on the followers you get, and Twitter Space, actually, most of them have low quality followers, can actually reduce your visibility. And followers are more of a vanity metric now. And that can not help your visibility unless they actually interact with you. If they're just there, they're lowering it because your stuff gets fed out to them and they don't react to it. So followers can be detrimental, which totally breaks the exposure for followers theory.
Yeah, you need active followers, like the people who are engaged. Because like I have these followers that so many, like they're legitimate followers and they were very interested, but they just went away from X, or maybe they'll come back, like, but it's not that season, or their interests changed or something like that. But they're still there.
I just remove followers who are inactive.
That's creepy.
Backwards.
Because they can come back, and a lot of them do.
Put up forwards on our screen.
Okay, good.
And it helps for discovery for other people too. By the way, the reason I'm wearing suspenders, that's what they are. I do have 3 herniated discs. You've
taken up a job as a lumberjack.
I was going to say it's your
medical issue.
You're going fishing.
What? It's so hideously inappropriate that you would say that to my serious medical issue.
Oh,
and I trust that you will self-flagellate soon. But no, I have a few herniated discs, so sometimes I get pinched back there, and that causes a lot of problems. So every chiropractor recommends you wear suspenders, not a belt. A belt is essentially a tourniquet that you're just strapping and squeezing to in the worst place, and you're hoping you'll just hold your pants up.
Are you wearing one of those lower back brace things too, or just
no?
Doesn't that cause you to slouch?
Yeah, doesn't it like compress you?
No, a little bit. You have it reminds you to stand up straight, but you got to do that anyway.
His pants will be up to his armpits.
No, but the more you put in your pockets, especially nowadays, all the electronic devices and things like that. It's like it really like adds a lot of strain to your lower back. So, but it's so comfortable to be in suspenders. It feels like nothing, and it's just like you can jump up and down and run around and
joining the
Until you
lumber.
feel a bunch of stuff in your pocket.
True.
Until you
I
put a
hurt,
whole
my,
thing in your
I
pocket.
hurt my back and my neck so bad yesterday, and I don't even know what I did. I just woke up in the middle of the night, like in pain, not last night, but the night before. That like half the day yesterday, I like was offline just because it hurt so much. Like I was taking care of stuff from my phone and whatever, but it just sucked. Today is much, much better, but I just got one of those things. So I feel your pain. I'm sorry. That sucks.
A couple
Let me know how,
weeks ago, I was.
know how the suspenders work
Oh,
out.
no,
like,
great. Now I feel great.
long-term.
I can get up, but I wasn't able to move a couple weeks ago. I was just like laying on my back, and I remember I was like reaching for the charger cord so that I could charge the phone, so I could keep looking at ChatGPT on how to best immediately remedy myself to get up off the ground. That's how bad it was. It's usually never that extreme, but that was an extreme moment.
It's one of those things. If you have it often, it's like, oh, it's annoying, it sucks, or whatever. And then, but like one day every few months or whatever, you get one of those crazy days. Sorry to hear that. That sucks.
I might get a surgery. I don't know. Every time I do it, I hit up my friend who's like a spine surgeon, and he's like, there's two things you can do. One, you could like, either get the holes in your spine, like where the tissue gets threaded in, like make those bigger so they don't pinch. Or, and I'm surprised by this, but like they get lasers and they burn that tissue.
Do the laser.
It regrows. It does regrow after like a year, so you have to keep doing it year after year. But it's like,
I think at the end of
those moments, I'm like, do both. I want both things.
I think that I've had a talk with a few people because of my back problems and neck and stuff. And I think the biggest problem is how much time we all spend in front of the computer. And I assume, similar to me, you do not exercise or do anything that you should be doing. And we should all probably just try to go on more walks. I'm not talking about freaking powerlifting, but
I've been lifting weights,
being active. And if we're lifting weights, don't have to be crazy heavy. Just literally do shit. We just need to do shit.
I do what my lungs allow.
Yeah.
Zuda, do you lift weights?
Cerebral palsy does not weight friendly.
Okay, now I feel like a jerk for asking. I'm so sorry.
Kevin, I'm extremely sorry about your pain and problem, but I think you'd be an excellent LARPer, and that's a compliment.
Thank you.
That's good.
I played Quidditch in college, so.
Quidditch in college?
Yeah, it was an actual sport. You had to bring your own broom.
Now they can make a golden snitch because of the
I went to see
drone technologies.
IOB
You can make an actual.
What?
Sorry, Kevin, go.
They can make an actual golden snitch now because of the drone technologies.
True.
That's true.
That's true.
Whatever you do to your back, be careful. Like I've known people
finance that alone
procedures, and their lives are screwed up now.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful. That's why you try to avoid surgeries and things and do the
get suspenders.
Physical therapy. Get suspenders. Do the physical therapy.
Fantasy football. This is the first time I've done it because of you, Alon. And now I'm in the playoffs. I'm playing the #1 seed because I came in 8th. So it's probably gonna.
I gotta check. I think I was gonna lose yesterday.
You're having a rematch. Yeah, you did because of Janu. Did the first touchdown in 5 years or something.
Kevin was not interested, and then he joined, and within a week he got into it.
I think
our league has been pretty quiet.
More activity.
He's the only person I've beaten. Kevin is the only person I've beaten.
David, you could have you stopped caring after a couple of weeks, but you actually you're bottom of the pack, but you have more points than people 5, 6, 7 spots ahead of you. So you could have actually been in the playoffs now if you put in a little bit of effort.
I tried. I missed 1 or 2 weeks when they got injured, and I just didn't replace them.
Then you stopped altogether.
Wait, where can I see? Oh, playoffs here.
No, I lost.
You had more points.
I'm in the quarterfinal.
Yeah. And you have a rematch from last week.
Nate, me and you.
I'm
going against you in the quarterfinal.
I mean, I didn't swap out a whole bunch, but like I tried to.
Sorry,
I missed last week when he got injured.
Sorry, Zuda and Nathan. Nathan, you weren't around yet when we started the league. Zuda, I think it was over a few weeks when you were offline when we did the fantasy league. So next year we gotta get you into it. But
I used to be good at that.
Very interesting.
Right now, as it stands, I haven't moved any players, and you've got a injured player on your roster, Nate. So you're gonna have to change them. But right now, it's showing I got a 57% chance.
Okay, so that's also.
But you have somebody out completely. Your kicker is out, so you got to get a new kicker in there.
I used to have a trick to
Don't
winning.
give them tips. What are you doing to yourself?
One of my tips.
Hey, I like to win fair and square. It sucks. I do not like
You can
when I
still
go,
win,
"Ooh, I
friend.
won," and then I look
It's
at
more
the person
fair
I was
if people
playing, like left in injured players, and I'm like, that's not a real win. That's not right. It's not an accomplishment.
Dude, yeah.
When other player doesn't show up, you don't feel accomplished like you won. It's like, oh, they didn't show up.
It's like in wrestling. I was on the wrestling team in high school for a little bit, and it's like if your opponent didn't show up, you'd get your hand raised. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cheap victory.
Or
like
it was a forfeit.
It's more fair if it's Darwinian. You got to let people fend for themselves.
Or like in court, if the judge or the other side doesn't show up, it just gets dismissed.
I've surprisingly never been in that situation. You guys are probably like, what? I've never been to court like that. I've gotten a speeding ticket though.
Me too. I'm not trying to go either.
Yeah, me either.
Off?
Good. I don't want to leave it up to the refs.
Nope.
Michael Jordan said, "Play above the referees. Don't leave it up to them."
I'm not trying to be in court. No thanks.
No thanks.
Oh well, if the cop doesn't show up, then you don't have to pay it, and if they do show up, you have to pay it anyway. So maybe you can get a reduction. Actually, you can ask the judge. The judge usually it's like, I can't pay this. I can't afford it. Like, what can you pay? That happens. I've seen that a lot. I'm like, $50. Like, okay. So it's never not worth it to.
Officer, right? And you find a way to invite him to a really prestigious event that interferes with the court appearance, and he goes, I should go to this event instead. And then
I feel like that's some kind of.
You find someone to hit his car.
Is that bad?
Oh man.
You find out your cop, you find out where he lives, you send him some invitation to something that's just in the opposite direction of the courthouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
once they did it, the cop didn't show up, I got dismissed. Once they did it, the cop showed up, I had to pay. And on my way out, I actually, I was holding a few things, so I dropped the original ticket, but that cop was leaving, the same cop. And then he's like, you dropped this. And then he handed it to me. So the same cop handed me the same ticket twice.
Oh my god.
That doesn't seem right.
Really weird.
Yeah.
So insult to injury.
You guys have any good stories? I got a good story of being the only time, I think it's the only time a cop pulled me over and didn't give me a ticket. You guys have any of those? Because they always give me tickets. They never let me go. But one time I got let go when I was 16. Maybe
a few times I've been let go.
DMV won't give me a license, but I have some interesting cop stories.
No.
Okay.
Where you didn't get a ticket?
Have you run from the cops? Like, what are you talking about? Interesting cop stories.
Interesting cop stories.
But
the way you're saying that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that.
Tangent. Where's the tangent sign?
But I don't think
right.
I think the only thing, tangent. I think the only thing was
one time
in Thousand Oaks, we thought we were getting pulled over for rolling a stop sign, little California roll. And as we got pulled over for that, it was wintertime, right around now. We all had hoods on, and they're like, there's been some break-ins in the area. Where are you guys all from? And everyone, we had someone from Texas in the car. Someone.
Because was it all like CLU students? So they're all.
It was all students, and so he's like, "You did the California roll, but really, we have more important stuff going on, like break-ins that have been happening around here." They look at all of our IDs, check the school stuff, and they're like, "Just stop at the stop signs next time. You guys are good to go." And it was one of those things. Yeah,
he was scared you were going to call him racist.
That's what I was thinking. I thought it was going there.
Was it? I just happened to know that. Were you hanging with Rob also? You know,
Rob wasn't in the car.
okay. I was just gonna say that
we
the
had
two
a very
black
mixed
dudes.
car.
You know,
If only that worked on every cop.
It was
we'd have
two black guys, a white guy with full tattoos, and a Hispanic guy. So we had a.
I used to get pulled over. I did get let go a few times. Actually, now that you're saying this, when I was young, because I drove such a shitty car. I think that the shitty car is the reason they pulled me over. And then they saw that I was a kid that was like nothing. They just let me go.
They thought you were someone.
I remembered one.
Stealing something.
They made me get out of the car once because they thought we were all on drugs or something. They thought we were smoking. The guy pulled us over because of the shitty car. And I was driving through Agora and they're like, oh, this shitty car. They pulled me over and they roll down the window. They're like, hey guys, what are you doing? And he goes, what's that? And my friend's sitting in the car. We had just gone to Burbank to this famous sandwich shop. And we're back in Agora. And my friend had a bag of the ends of bread you could buy for like 50 cents when they cut it off. Like when they make the sandwiches, they cut off the ends or something. And my friend goes, oh, we went to this place and they sold us the bread ends and this and that. And he goes, you guys been smoking? And what's funny
my God.
is my friend turned out to be like a stoner many years later or whatever. But at this point in time, not a single one of these people had ever smoked weed, including me. I've never smoked weed at all. Like it was just this whole this guy just made up that we smelled like weed just to kind of mess with us and see what was going on because obviously nothing stunk like anything. And and he made us get out of the car. He started like looking in the car because it's so messy and whatever. And he ended up letting us go. He was just hassling us because we were in a shitty car.
He planted that suggestion in that poor kid's head. And then he became a pot addict, right? Like,
it's power of suggestion. I have one similar in a way. Like,
he would have never started smoking pot probably unless he had that cop on the force down. He's all like, well, if the authorities are now thinking I'm doing this, why shouldn't I just start doing it?
Yeah. He's like, I already look like this. I might as well do it.
We were around the corner from my friend's house. We got to his house later, and his mom goes, hey, guys, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. And I think she was testing us. And my friend goes, oh, my God, it's so messed up. These cops pulled us over for no reason. They just let us go, but they thought we were high, blah, blah, blah. And he starts going on this like whole thing. And his mom goes, oh, I did see a couple cop cars out there on Thousand Oaks Boulevard earlier. And she was testing us to see if we would tell her that it happened.
Very sneaky.
Yes. You know, she was checking in on us. Like it was funny.
One time when I was a teenager, I was driving and my friend, for some reason, we saw a cop like pulling somebody over on the side of the road. And for some reason, he like hung out of the car and yelled something at the cop. I think he thought that he wouldn't chase us. So the cop got in his car and pulled us over instead. And then as he was talking to us, somebody sped by us so fast that the cop left us and chased that person. This cop could not make up his mind. It was crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Hey guys, I got to get ready to jump. Prepared for
we're running way over time. I just realized we're having too much fun. Hey everyone, if Rankin and I are online next week, we'll text. It's probably going to be holiday time. I assume we probably won't do the stream, but so if we don't see everyone, happy holidays. I hope everyone has a safe and great Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's. Festivus
for the rest of us.
Kwanzaa.
Yalda.
David, you didn't even talk about DeFi that much. Are you sure you don't want to get something else in real quick? Liquidity pools.
What's the best position to take for the holiday time?
Ave.
Best position?
ETH Bitcoin.
Well, I don't know. You should probably have some dollars set aside and drop further.
Are we doing? I told you. I was like, dude, I don't know if that's. I think we're going.
Oh, lower. You know what? You know what?
Borrow against your.
You should have a swimming pool that uses the filter to do liquidity pools. So when you swim, it goes, oh, okay, he's swimming.
Isn't a swimming pool just a liquidity pool?
Well, what is
you mean it'll like automate? It'll automate your liquidity pool positions based on what you do in the swimming pool?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to get so rich one day that my liquidity pool will just be a empty swimming pool filled with money.
Well, I will.
I'm just kidding. It probably won't happen.
Scrooge McDuck.
I do think we're
Yeah,
going to
that's
have
what I was
a bigger correction, though. I've done a lot of research on this. Like, we're probably going to be in the 70,000 range. But after that, we'll be clean.
Absolutely agree with you.
I can't
been
afford
through
a
several
full
cycles.
You were supposed to correct Kevin with the upcoming correction, and you just agreed with him.
I agree with him.
I was
Yeah,
gonna,
you
when
were
he said
supposed
we're
to
going to
go
have
on
a
a-
bigger correction, I was going to make a joke about you correcting him soon.
Well,
I agree
work,
with Kevin.
Didn't work. We're going.
Wait.
Yeah, we're gonna. But like we'll have a go fork.
I had that from a long time ago
fork.
here, and I just remembered.
Should be no fork
No
because
fork.
of Tezos.
Oh man,
We
we
don't
should
have
have
forks.
done one of
No
these
forks on
today, but we
Tezos.
didn't. This is an
Only
old one. This is an
spoons.
old one.
How come
Now we
everyone's
need
smart?
to
Oh, I was
add
gonna say,
add Nathan to this.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Oh,
make a
mine's
new one.
cute.
All right,
So-
wait, hold on.
so
Let me
Kevin,
get a
you think
screenshot.
it's
Everybody
gonna keep
smile
going
real
down?
quick. Everybody look at the camera and smile.
Yeah.
All right. Before Nate leaves, if you leave, Nate, I'll be able to do this now with you guys.
If you leave,
Probably mid 70s. Like, you know, if things really get shitty, like a stretch would be like high 60s, but probably not. I think we'll be like, we'll touch the 70s and then we'll be clean because we never finished the actual correction from the spring. Like Bitcoin's weird. So the interruption of the correction led us to a new all-time high, but we were still not done the original correction. So this is actually a continuation of what we had then. This is not a new event.
You have to be careful saying this because if you say 68, then what's going to happen is somebody's going to sell their bag now and then hope to buy it.
No one cares what I think.
They're going to hope to buy it.
I care what you think.
They're going to sit there. Then it's going to spike back up to 120. They're going, I missed the dip.
So what you
that's
do
so-
if you're expecting downturn, you borrow your USDC against your Bitcoin, you swap that debt over to either like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then when the price of the asset goes down, so does the US dollar value of your debt. You cut your debt that way. It's free money. Then you swap back once you think you're at the bottom. That's the way to do it.
Like it.
And what if it just instantly goes up?
That's the risk you take. That's the risk you take for the life you choose. The price you pay for the life you choose.
You just owe more debt.
Yeah, that can happen. But if you're clever and you're not too greedy, you can do well with this practice.
Or you just do a hedged position in the liquidity pool and have a mix of USDC and Bitcoin. And if it goes down, you get more Bitcoin, then you can pull out. If it goes up, you spend Bitcoin, you take some profit, you collect some fees.
But there's impermanent loss associated with that.
So the value that you lost from if you would just held the Bitcoin.
Right. So that's why people don't like it.
What?
But if you enter the position thinking in terms of US dollar settled value, and then like whatever else you do after that, then you're only thinking in terms of net gain. It's not going to go down. But people in crypto think differently, and they see BTC as their settled amount, and it's just like, oh, if I only did this, it's a permanent loss in people's misconception.
And they should just continue
regret.
buying Bitcoin and not even think about it.
Yeah.
Did Zuda fall asleep?
Zuda, you good?
I'm okay.
Okay.
By the way,
You know
USD Tez, we bridged over to ETH, to
Zuda's
Etherlink.
tired. He didn't sleep yet in a while. He told us before the call, so we're gonna be finishing up anyway. So finish your guys' analysis.
And bridged over to Base. And now there's a small pool on Base that we want to get some depth for. But the point of that is it's on Aerodrome, and there's an exclusive relationship between Aerodrome and Coinbase sources DEX, like assets from those DEX pools on Aerodrome, which means soon you'll have a normal Coinbase listing for USD Tez. Just buy with a credit card on Coinbase.
Real quick, not to interrupt, but what do you
hear
think
that, Alon?
the big announcement is?
That's
Is
very
it
cool.
tomorrow like some big announcement from Coinbase?
I don't know.
Wasn't it the
Tomorrow.
17th was going to be they're announcing the new era of crypto or something, right?
No idea.
What?
I know there's some talk about
Ethereum doing an upgrade? Didn't Ethereum just do an
Coinbase
upgrade?
launch of
Yeah,
tokenized
Fusaka.
stocks and prediction markets to be unveiled on the 17th. So people say Coinbase will add prediction markets inside and tokenized stocks inside the Coinbase app. That's what everyone is saying, at least.
Okay, that's what. See, I was thinking either that or like a token, which everybody's been speculating like a Coinbase token for years, and it's probably not going to happen because there's like a lot of risk associated with that on their end in terms
have a
of like
stock ticker price, whatever. So
yeah,
that's their token.
well, yeah, like stock is their token essentially,
Yeah.
right? It's so weird how they're so tied to the legacy world, but they're also so crypto. It's kind of contradictory, right?
That's been their defining model from their very beginning, and that's why so many people were. I remember when Coinbase started, like the crypto community at the time, which was the Bitcoin community only, it was so anti-Coinbase because they were like, this is the most centralized thing put on a decentralized concept, and how dare they? But those very same people that were so ardently against it were the very people who, anytime anyone asked them, how do I get Bitcoin? They're like, just go on Coinbase and get it, because that's the only way you're going to get it.
So I guess the Fusaka upgrade went through fine.
Yeah, Fusaka went good. Fusaka. It went awesome. Everything.
What does it bring?
Huh?
What does it bring them? What does it
Just
bring?
Scaling measures, like faster times, cheaper transaction costs.
What's the block times now?
I don't know exactly, but I know that it's getting to the point where it's not going to be as big of
Massive.
like a debate between them and other chains. And then like layer 2s are going to move even faster, right? So it's like,
well, layer 2s are already insanely fast.
So,
I don't like layer 2s as much anymore, because if the L1 is super fast and cheap, then the L2s just become extractive.
Yeah.
Pure
That's the problem. Fragmentation.
It's
the MEV costs that are killing them. That's the problem.
Pure data availability is sampling.
We're really over time.
We are really over time. Hold on, check this out.
Oh my God.
Rankin and I don't look very
the only one
puppety.
that
We
doesn't
just
have
look funny
stubble is
looking.
Zuda.
But the rest of you guys look like puppets.
Rankin's the only one without a bad nose.
Because he doesn't look like a puppet. It looks like it just like kind of messed with
Yeah,
his
it
head
just
a
looks
little
like
bit.
a normal
I look like a troll.
cartooning AI.
I look like an evil troll.
No, it looks
That's
pretty
so
good.
cute.
It's working on another version right now. We'll see what it does. Maybe we'll wait on that and then we'll sign off.
Why are we talking about it as a big picture? Enabling true layer 2 scaling. So yeah, the Fusaka is supposed to help with the L2 scaling.
Was ERC 8004 part of that update?
The problem is like the way that they've been alleviating their scaling issues with upgrades has been the same as like adding more lanes to the highway, the freeway, depending on what locale you are. It's induced demand is what it enables. So like, just like when you add more lanes to the freeway, it's great. It's much better for a little bit, but then all that does is let people know, hey, there's a lot of open space now. And then it gets more people to come in on the freeway, and then bottleneck just shifts somewhere else. So it's never a permanent solution. That's why ultimately layer 2s are.
Okay. You know what? I don't like how I look in real life or in this photo.
You just gotta go with it. We all look like goofballs. That's kind of the point.
I like my previous one.
Gotta roll with it.
Are we nerds? Dang
Everyone
it.
has a beard except for Zuda.
They always used to call me a nerd in high school. I never believed them, and now I'm starting to realize maybe they were right. So that's painful as an adult, though. It's kind of like fun as an adult. You're like, yeah, I'm a nerd. In high school, you're like, I'm not a nerd. I'm cool. It's like, yeah, you are.
I saw this comedy routine somewhere that was like all of a sudden, like all the nerds, the meatheads, like the jocks have podcasts.
Oh,
and the nerds are like the guests on the podcast. And it's like this whole weird world we live in. It's really funny. It was better than I'm explaining it. But okay, guys, we got an awesome week ahead of us. Next week is Christmas. This week is Hanukkah. Have a really,
with an
really
H or
awesome week.
CH? Hanukkah.
However
with an
you
H.
want to spell it. It can be spelled
Okay.
however you want.
My
In
bad.
Hebrew,
Sorry.
Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. and however you spell it. But guys, maybe we'll see you next week. I'll text if Rankin and I happen to be online. But see you guys soon. Have a great year. Anybody have some things to throw in there for the community before we sign off?
I would say one thing. The holidays are coming up. Things are going to get hectic. We're all probably looking at our bags, our checking accounts. We're all kind of stressing over if we can afford this. We're going to make this person happy, that person happy. The one place you can start is by loving yourself and making sure that you're happy, because that'll spread to all the people around you, and it'll be a better day no matter what's going on.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's my bag.
Are you going to Vegas?
No, it's the bag I got that says Vegas. So, yep, got my bag.
Got my bag.
I think you just offended Kevin. He just signed
yeah,
up. I'm not sure if it was Nathan telling us to love ourselves or Zuda showing the bag, but Kevin got angry.
He decided
he signed off. Okay, on Kevin's behalf, go follow him on Twitter and all that, but go to Tezos Finance and all that fun stuff. For us, go to dgb.vc. You guys know the drill. Thanks, guys. For Zuda, go to dreamy.me. Follow him on Twitter. For Nathan, love is Nathan. Follow him on Twitter. Go to his website, buy his NFTs. Happy holidays, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
All right.